I'm flying through the air, this ain't good. Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, released in 2006 and is directed by Adam McKay, who has also directed such films like Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy, Step Brothers, The Other Guys, Ant-Man, The Big Short, and Vice. That man has had quite the leap in his career. He started off with this kind of stupid comedy genre with Will Ferrell and all these other comedians, moving all the way to like big Oscar award nominated films like Big Short and Vice. I mean, it's quite a career. And this film is starring Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly, Sacha Baron Cohen, Gary Cole, Michael Clark Duncan, Leslie Bibb, Amy Adams, and Jane Lynch. Ever since the moment that Ricky Bobby entered this world, he has dreamt about going fast. Working in the pit crew for a NASCAR driver, he finally gets the opportunity. And ever since then, he has always put forth his drive to always be first, because if you're not first, you're last. However, soon enters Formula 1 driver Ron Gilad, who becomes stiff competition for Ricky Bobby. So Ricky needs to learn the skill of losing and fighting his way back to the top. Yes, I remember the time that Will Ferrell was untouchable for me, because he was such a legend in comedy, especially 2 years before this film came out, with the very first collaboration between Adam McKay and Will Ferrell with Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. When that film hit the screen, I was sucked in, I was glued to the screen, Will Ferrell could do no wrong. That movie was absolutely hilarious, every single minute of it, and then when it came out on DVD and you got the unrated, like extra, like 20 or 30 minutes worth of funny footage, I still thought it was hilarious. So when they said that Will Ferrell was going to be in another comedy just like that one, just with NASCAR racing, I was thinking, oh, there's no way that this could fail. It's the same team that did Anchorman. And that movie was amazing. And then I watched this movie in the theaters, and I learned that that is not always the case. This film, back then, as it did today when I watched it, felt very unhinged to me. It felt like there was not a lot of supervision. It was just a bunch of, hey, go out there and do funny things and say funny lines, and then we'll just kind of, pick and choose which ones we're going to take and put it in the film. Which I know that Anchorman had a lot of, absolutely, but personally, I feel that the humor or the improvised humor for Anchorman played into the characters and played into the narrative of the story more, whereas the one-liners, the jokes that are said in this film are kind of just there. They may be prevalent to the scene, but they don't play into the overall arc of the character or the overall arc of the story. Plus, it's all done with Southern accents, which, when you listen to a bunch of fake Southern accents for 2.5 hours, it can weigh you down. And no offense to anyone that does have that Southern twang accent where all the words kind of lean on each other. It's not something that I just like hearing. And it's no offense to you, it's just, it didn't add to the pleasure of watching this film. Also, it didn't help is that this is NASCAR, and I've never gotten NASCAR. I've never gotten into it, and I've never got into racing, really. And I'm not demeaning it as a sport. Of course, there's a lot of skill and a lot of physical attributes that you have to have in order to drive in NASCAR. I mean, you're going hundreds of miles an hour for hundreds and hundreds of miles in one setting. It's just, as a spectator, I'm watching a car drive around in a circle, and it gets really loud at one point, and then they come around, and then it gets loud again. It's not entertaining for me. So I appreciate Will Ferrell attempting to take this concept of NASCAR and take the sport that is very popular in some communities, but not so popular in others, say my community, and try to make it enjoyable and try to make it funny. And for the first half of this film, I'm going along with it. I'm laughing, I'm having a good time, I'm getting back into that improvisation vibe with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, and then when Sacha Baron Cohen comes on screen, he plays into it too. But then about halfway through the film, it keeps happening, and the story of this little man-child who never learned how to lose becomes very annoying to me. Actually, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what I said when I reviewed the film Step Brothers. These are two adult children who are not behaving their age, and they're still living in their parents' house, and they're acting like they're 10 when in fact they're like 45. That's basically what's happening here, and it became annoying. And I remember sitting in the theater when this originally came out, being very disheartened. Not to take away from some of the great one-liners that we get in here, in particular Sacha Baron Cohen. I think he is the breakout star of this film. I had never seen him before this movie, and after watching him here, I'm like, this guy is hilarious. Of course, he later went on to make hilarious films like Borat. Here he is doing this over-amplified French accent, and it's hilarious. Ricky Bobby, you made me spill my macchiato. That was a god-awful French accent, and I'm never going to attempt that again, other than saying Ricky Bobby. I believe this is the second time that I've ever watched this film, because I remember being so disheartened when I watched this in the theaters in 2006 that I never watched it again. I remember purchasing the DVD because it was like a clearance sale at Family Video, which is a video rental store, if anyone remembers those things. I think a girl that I had a crush on was working there, and she was talking to me, so of course I wanted to make her happy, so I purchased the DVD. Purchased it in full screen, too. That's when you can tell I'm desperate. I like you. Ooh, full screen? Absolutely. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Does the film have good elements to it? Absolutely. I remember when this film was coming out and professional NASCAR drivers who did see the film said, hey, it's actually the most accurate driving film that's out there. Shots of the pit crew, shots within the car, the up-close shots of the actual races happening are all very impressive. Just again, this overall arcing story of this kid who just never grew up and had this deadbeat father who walked out on him and then came back into his life just to, you know, pawn off some tickets. It's unrelatable to me. I can't relate to this, and when I see these characters on screen, it just angers me. The film is tolerable in parts. If you watch this, like, clips on YouTube, or if you just catch, like, 10 minutes of it on cable if it's playing there, you could probably get by. I could probably get by with watching those, but this whole one sitting of this entire story, I couldn't take it. It was very, very annoying. Very disappointing as the follow-up to Anchorman, which is just comedy gold, and then they attempted to reach that again, and they really tried. I can see the effort, but they definitely stumbled on the race. I'm gonna give Talladega Nights: The Ballad of Ricky Bobby 2 out of 5 Blu-rays. Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part of my videos where I randomly select which movie I'm going to be watching next, and we're going to be randomly selecting from the list of all the recommendations that I've gotten from you, my subscribers, or just anyone at random who's commented on my videos, so let's take a look. American Sniper! Recommended by a former co-worker of mine, Kristen Weissner, who also has her own theme song. She's a big Gone with the Wind fan, and after I reviewed that film for her, that theme just stuck in my head. American Sniper is a film that I've only seen once, and I recall not being that impressed with it. I know it was nominated for Best Picture and I think Best Actor with Bradley Cooper, but it's about like the deadliest sniper in American history, a guy who had like hundreds of kills over in Iraq. I don't know, I'm probably gonna have to look up those numbers when I review it, but I recall being impressed with some parts, but then when we got to like the husband and wife scenes, I just felt like those scenes were like nagging all the time. His wife was just nagging him. Just stay home. You have a family. Don't you love your family? Why do you go back over there? You have a family. Me. Hopefully it ages better for me. So we'll check that one out next time. Hey, if any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, you can leave your recommendation below this video, or go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter. Leave your recommendation there. If I have access to it, I will watch, review it, and give you a shout out on the channel. And if you really want to get your recommendation done as quickly as you possibly can, and if you want to help support me with this channel, you can make a PayPal donation on the main page of my YouTube channel. Any size donation will do. Just attach your movie with your donation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it and publish my review of it as quickly as I possibly can. So guys, if you've seen Talladega Nights, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you'll know the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of American Sniper. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.